So we can begin. So a little bit about the Agency for Mobility and EU Programs. So it was established in 2007 by the government of the Republic of Croatia. And given the scope of its work, which is European programs, in 2010 the European Commission accredited the agency for the implementation of Lifelong Learning Program and Youth in Action Program. Given that those programs ended in 2014, and in 2014 a new program emerged, the Erasmus Plus program. So that is the year in which our national agency was accredited for also implementing the Erasmus Plus program. So given the programs that we are implementing, you can see that the scope of activities is education, youth and science, and that the purpose of our existence is improving the system by internationalization. And the instruments we have at our disposal are international mobility and cooperation. So this project you are here, you're gonna hear about today is one of the projects financed by the Erasmus Plus. As anybody functioning in today's world, we have defined our vision and our mission. Our vision is, of course, to include as many users from Republic of Croatia in the European area of education, science, and youth. And the aim is to strengthen the human and demographic potential, social cohesion, and competitiveness of our society. And so, in relation to that, our mission is to enable the implementation of EU programs in the field of science education and training in our country. So the programs we are implementing are, as you can see on this slide here, so besides the Erasmus Plus program, which is the biggest program, we have also bilateral agreements, we have CEPUS, we have a program for Science Horizon 2020 and Euraccess. So three complementary functions and levels of our agency are, of course, managing programs under its authority, so decentralized programs of the Erasmus Plus program and other programs, and providing expert support in all other programs which are centralized. Second function is to support the development of relevant policies and instruments for, of course, the internationalization of education in general. And in relation to that, to develop new projects of internationalization and quality, and to strengthen them according to some identified national needs. One of the biggest functions is, of course, support to institutions and organizations. And in regards to that, we have many actions that we provide and many possibilities that you can take into consideration if you are interested in some kind of project. So we offer informational services, and as you can see here, there's a lot of publication, newsletters, our web page, which is regularly updated, so you can find all the relevant information there. Also, we provide counseling services, and those can be done during the project application. So maybe if you have some kind of project idea, but you're not sure in which direction to go or which action is appropriate for your idea, then you can maybe attend our annual seminars, conferences, workshops, but we also provide counseling and a different variety of transnational cooperation activities in which you can take part. Besides being there in the phase of project application, we are also there during the project implementation as a monitoring body, so we support, we're not just there to do the follow-up and see the results on the paper, but we also like to be a part of every event that we can attend, just like today. So the benefits of the Erasmus Plus program for the institutions that can take part in it are, of course, their internationalization, then the higher quality of institution, which will come as a part of internationalization and cooperation on international level. And of course, if we are looking at the level of an individual, then it's improvement of learners or staff's knowledge, abilities, and qualifications. So as you can see, even though we are going to make an emphasis on the vocational education and training, the Erasmus Plus program is, of course, for many different fields. So institutions from higher education, from school education, from adult education, and those working in the field of youth can participate in different actions of the Erasmus Plus program. The program itself is structured in a way to be divided into 3 key activities, as you can see. 2 of them are decentralized activities, which means that the national agencies at the level of each country participating in the Erasmus Plus program is responsible for implementing all of the activities. And the centralized ones are, of course, in the scope of the European Commission. So the first decentralized action is key action 1, and that is mobility of individuals. So those are mobility projects which can be, in which learners or staff can be included depending on the field of education. Second activity, and this is the activity that we're going to see the results today, is key action 2. Cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practices, and that is the strategic partnership part of the action. And the centralized action is support for policy reform. Here we serve as a body who does the counseling services. So no matter the key activity, some specific objectives of the Erasmus Plus program are, of course, to improve the level of key competencies and skills at the level of individual, to foster and provide opportunity for quality improvements, innovation, internationalization, to promote the emergence and raise awareness of possibilities in the lifelong learning area, to enhance the international dimension of education and training, and to improve and raise awareness of linguistic diversity and the intercultural awareness at the European level. The possibilities in the field of vocational education and training, given that we are responsible for decentralized actions, so here you have the 2 actions we talked about before. Those are key action 1, mobility projects, and key action 2, strategic partnership. As you can see, for key action 1, institutions or organizations that can apply are VET providers, or there's another possibility, also an applicant can be coordinator of a national mobility consortium. So if you're interested in that kind of possibilities, just let us know and we'll give you all the further information. Minimum number of participating organizations in this kind of projects is 2 from 2 different countries, and the project duration is between 1 and 2 years. Given this short information here, you can see that the key action 2 strategic partnership is a little bit more complicated. So those are bigger projects, and the scope of them is much broader. So an applicant can be any public or private organization. Regarding the number of organizations that can participate for the formal eligibility, it's 3 countries from 3 organizations from 3 different countries, and the project duration is between 1 and 3 years. So regarding the mobility projects, those are the simpler kind of projects. So they are kind of based on the individual, and the aim of them is to provide learners or staff from VET organization with possibilities to enhance their knowledge or skills at an international level. So learners can participate in a mobility in a VET provider or companies abroad from 2 weeks to 3 months. And given that some of the information were that longer term mobilities are of course better for strengthening any of your skills and knowledge, a new activity emerged, and that's Erasmus Plus activities. That's also a learner mobility, but the duration is, as you can see, much longer, from 3 to 12 months. Aim of these activities is, of course, to strengthen the employability of those learners and to help and facilitate their transition to the labor market, just to give them a better opportunity of being a part of the labor market after finishing their college. Eligible participants are learners and recent graduates from up to 1 year after their graduation. And regarding the staff mobility, as you can see, they either have the opportunity to teach themselves at a partner VET provider abroad, or they have the opportunity to be taught to take a work placement or job shadowing at a company or VET provider. Regarding the strategic partnerships, they are divided into 2 categories. One is the strategic partnership supporting innovation, and the other one supporting exchange of good practices between organizations. So regarding the ones that are supporting innovation, they are expected, of course, to develop some kind of innovative outputs, because they also have a special budget category for that. And what those outputs can be, well, you'll see in the later presentations. They have to include intensive dissemination and exploitation activities in order to inform as many different groups of relevant stakeholders about the results they are achieving. And one supporting exchange of good practice are aimed at providing an opportunity for organizations to maybe develop and strengthen their networks, share some ideas, practices, methods between them, and to increase the capacity for their operating at an international level. They don't have to have some output as a result of them. It can just be the exchange of good practices. But if they want to have some output in a smaller scale, then they can decide to do so. Regarding the results, we all know that results can be in many forms. So it can be capacity building, some change in the mindset or in working habits, increasing quality. So a lot of things can be considered as a result. But for key action 2, what's important is the outputs. So it can be a method, a guide, a model, something that requires specific allocation of time, and it's a tangible result. So some characteristics of a good intellectual output would therefore be that they are tangible and significant. They're, of course, innovative, creative, and they are usable. They're substantial in their quality and in quantity, and they have potential for wider use and wider impact. So the most important part of the outputs is their long-term usability after the project ends. One of the possibilities that we have in vocational education and training is the VET Mobility Charter. Its aim is to reward and promote quality in the mobility. So the organizations that have completed at least 3 mobility projects and have a good budget consumption rate can be awarded the VET Mobility Charter, and then their participation in the Erasmus Plus program is different and is made easier for them because it is expected that they work on the quality of their project. Here you have a link for a map of all charter holders. So those are the VET institutions that prove themselves in the quality of their work. So if you're maybe looking for some project partners, you can find them here. The last thing we would like to mention is the transnational cooperation activities. Those are different kinds of events that are organized by the national agencies themselves. Those can be seminars, workshops, study visits. They really do have many different forms. The aim is to improve the quality and impact of the Erasmus Plus program as a whole at a systemic level. And each of the TCAs of these activities is designed with a special target group, special theme, and a special aim in mind. So taking part in one of these activities means that you can create new contacts, you can extend contacts and cooperation with different kind of organizations, maybe similar to your field. You can gain knowledge and some practical skills about the Erasmus Plus program. And if you have a project, this is of course an excellent opportunity also to disseminate your project results at the European level. I said that there are really different kind of themes and scopes for these activities, and here we provided just a few examples of previous opportunities. As you can see, the themes are very different, and to anyone who is interested in them, you can probably find something that suits your needs. So to all the participants, never mind which country you are from, because all the NAs are doing this, we strongly advise for you to look at these activities and to take part in them if you can. So this is all for the Erasmus Plus part. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, you can just ask them at all. Thank you.